Hey Joe fans, I'm JoeFan82 here with another action figure review. Today I'm looking at the G.I. Joe Marauders Firefighter, codename Barbecue. This guy is from the Final 12 from the G.I. Joe Collectors Club. Here he is in the package. We've got that same G.I. Joe, a real American hero logo on the top. It says GIJoeClub.com exclusive. We've got some nice artwork of Barbecue there on the left holding his axe. The retro Hasbro logo on the bottom left corner. And there's the figure in the bubble. And here's the back of the card. We've got that same artwork on the top. The Marauders logo is there. On the right it says G.I. Joe Club exclusive 1 of 12. I finally got to the first one. And on the bottom we have the file card. The file card says Marauders Firefighter, codename Barbecue. File name Gabriel A. Kelly. Primary military specialty Firefighter. Secondary military specialty Infantryman. Birthplace Boston, Massachusetts. Grade E4. The first paragraph says, if Barbecue hadn't joined the G.I. Joe team, he would have been the 7th Kelly in the direct line in the Boston Fire Department. His love for the job is not based on family loyalty or even a more general sense of duty. He simply likes riding on the back of the truck with the wind in his face, sirens wailing, lights flashing, and bells clanging. Being allowed to knock down doors and smash windows with his axe is just frosting on the cake to him. He has a knack for keeping things under control, and whenever the team gets caught in a firefight, he's got the equipment that keeps them as cool as cucumbers. Barbecue is what you call your basic party animal. He can open bottles with his teeth, pick up quarters with his ears, and wrap his lips completely around the bottom of a quart soda bottle. Some may ask how all this affects his function as a firefighter in the Marauders unit. It doesn't. It simply makes him a more interesting fellow to have around. The quote on the bottom says, "With me on the team, you aren't going to get burned by Cobra." Here is Barbecue out of the package. He is based on the vintage 1989 Marauders Barbecue figure. As you can see, they did a great job of matching that color scheme from the vintage figure. He's got that same blue, bright green, dark green, and brown color scheme going on. For the most part, this figure is a repaint of the 25th anniversary version. There are some slight part differences, but overall it's the same basic figure, just with a new paint scheme. The 25th anniversary one is based on the version 1 vintage figure, which had a gray and red orangey uniform, which is a stark contrast to the color scheme from Marauders. Let's take a closer look at the figure itself. He's got a bright blue helmet with a black visor. The paint job is really sharp, nice clean lines. Everything is looking really nice on this guy. He's got the black tank on his chest. He's got a little bit of body armor there on the top between his neck and his shoulders and the top of his chest, which continues down to the black tank on his chest. His shirt is a brown, bright green, and a dark green with some brown gloves. He's got a black belt, and his pants continue that color scheme with dark green, bright green, blue with some molded in details, which are pretty nice, and dark green, brown, and some black boots. It's articulation time. He has pretty much the standard articulation we've come to see from the modern figures. His head does a full 360 if you need him to do that for some reason. Not really much up and down movement on this guy. His shoulders go up about so far. They're hindered a little bit by his armor, but they will do a full 360. He's got a 90-degree bend at the elbow, 360 degree at the wrist, and his right hand has up and down movement like that. He's got a joint there in his torso. He can do some ab crunches. His other wrist does a full 360 and bends up and down like that. His legs come up about so far. Double jointed knees. His ankles do a full 360, and he's got a little bit of a bend at the ankle. Let's look at his accessories. He comes with this backpack, which has, I'm assuming, some water in there. Agua. It's got a really nice Marauders logo on it. nicely done compared to the 25th anniversary version, which was in the red orangey color with dark gray. Now you'll notice one of the major differences here is that the peg for the Marauders version is quite a bit longer than the 25th anniversary version, and that's a bit unfortunate because when you stick the backpack in, it sticks out pretty far. It's quite noticeable. I'm not sure why they decided to extend it and make it longer, because it doesn't look good and it doesn't really add anything to the security of having the backpack on his back. So that's a little bit of a negative. It comes with a hose, a long black hose, which connects one end to his backpack and the other end to the gun, which shoots the water. And the hose does not stay very well on either of these. It's prone to falling out. So once you get it in there, you might not want to fiddle around with it too much. So I've got it here, but then getting it onto the figure and having it stay in one place is a bit tricky. So here he is with his backpack and the hose and gun attached. It's on there. It looks like it's on there pretty good, but it's a little pretty loose, so I'm not going to mess with it too much. The length of the hose is a little bit too long, in my opinion. It's sticking out pretty far. An all silver axe, which is nicely sculpted. And last but not least is a brown figure stand. It has the G.I. Joe logo on the top, and it says barbecue in the front. Overall, I really like this figure. Despite the backpack, hose, gun situation, he's still pretty good. I love the color scheme. I love Slaughter's Marauders in general, so I'm really good with the color scheme. The paint apps on this figure are really nice, especially on the helmet, and just a really nice figure, and he will look great with your other Slaughter's Marauders figures. But that's what I think. Let me know what you think about this figure in the comments below. That's going to wrap up this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.